Why you have been running out of gas faster, okay? As of 24 hours ago, Congress officially passed a law, officially being the key word, stating that they are now going to allow E15 to be added to fuel and gasoline year-round. Here's what that actually means in English, okay? E15 is ethanol, okay? It is something that they add into fuel to reduce the amount of fuel that you need to use, okay? Now, typically, you've seen it before. At a gas station, there'll be a sign on the pump that says may contain up to 10% ethanol, okay? Now, there's been times where companies have put more or less ethanol based on the weather, the season, the heat outside, things like that. Additionally, like I've been talking about for months, there was a time during World War II where the federal government gave oil and gas companies in America permission to add additional levels of ethanol to the fuel in order to reduce the effects of fuel rationing. I have been saying that this had been happening for months since we entered into Iran. This is why you have been running out of gas more quickly. This is why you are experiencing rough idle when you're sitting in the school parking lot waiting for your kids to get out and your car kind of shakes every once in a while. This is why when you turn on your engine, your gas needle drops more than ever. And this is why if you have a car that tells you how many miles you have to empty, it no longer makes any sense. Okay? It is up and down all over the place. It is because you are experiencing reduced fuel efficiency. Okay? Now, as of yesterday, Congress authorized oil and gas companies into America to begin adding E15 to fuel, meaning now we are going to experience up to 15% ethanol. So for those of you who don't know what that means, let me explain how it is actually going to affect you. The idea is you are going to pay a little bit less at the pump, hopefully, okay, if the problem doesn't continue to get worse. Now, you pay a little bit less at the pump, but the side effect of that is you run out of gas faster, meaning you have to put more gas. The last 3-4 months, we've been getting gaslighted into believing that that is not what was happening, but it has been. Everyone has pretty much universally agreed you don't smell gas at the pump anymore. You run out of gas more quickly. Your car is not driving as far as it used to, or now it costs more to fill up and you got to fill up more often. Okay, it is because they have already been doing this. They are now just realizing they can't keep playing in our face and act like we aren't going to notice it. Okay, so here's what you need to do. Well, really, there's nothing you can do. If you drive an old car, sorry, you're screwed, okay? It is going to drastically reduce the engine life that you have, even if you drive a modern era vehicle. It is going to be very bad for people who drive older cars. Now, if you happen to drive what society would label a beater, you know who you are. Your car is going to start to fall apart very quickly, okay? So you may want to, I don't know, maybe stockpile gas now, if that's an option, or start to develop plans on how you can buy a vehicle that is a little bit newer with a little bit less wear and tear on the engine, because this gas is going to start tearing cars apart. Let's be clear. All right, so please, as always, share the video, tell your friends, prepare yourself, protect yourself, and don't tell nobody about it. So this is...
Inshallah. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachachudash, that will honor the beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. While peace and salutations to all you hopeful elect document out there laboring that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp, and I'm doing this lesson, based on the video I showed, which is just a really good example of, Esau's kingdom waxing worse and worse, and this man's power, in the height of his power of being so-called up-to-date with his modern technologies, he has to water down his gas, but we understand that there's a bigger picture to what he's doing. Like that guy said, it's not just, that guy was emphasizing on it's only about messing up your engine and also, less miles per gallon, but it's also going to allow those, like he said, it's a good point, that those cars are going to start breaking down, because he wants to get you in these modern vehicles. He wants more people to rely on these electric battery powered vehicles. He doesn't want anybody to be able to work on their own vehicles, to have it to where the cars are built so simply, like anything 2006 and under, that all you need to do is go and buy the part that's broken, you replace it, watch a video on YouTube, and boom, you're back on the road again. He doesn't want that. He wants to control society, and ultimately this is a part of Agenda 2030. He wants to break down the free modems of transportation, as well as put these people into 15-minute cities. So he doesn't want you to be able to travel freely. You know, he wants to make this a prison planet. You know, and this is just one of many examples to show you that this man is ultimately waxing worse and worse. So I'm going to get straight to the scriptures before I blabber on even more. But hey, man, it's all through the Spirit. This is Second Samuel 3:1. Now there was long war between the house of Saul and the house of David, but David waxed stronger and stronger, and the house of Saul waxed weaker and weaker. You know, we understand that this is talking about the infighting between the Israelites, Israelite versus Israelite. You know, and this is an example of, you know, these other camps, you know, and their doctrine fading. But I thought of this scripture because it's also representation of a wicked kingdom. You know, Saul had a wicked kingdom because he transgressed and did not follow the law, statutes, and commandments and do what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai commanded. You know, so he got his kingdom taken. You know, so we can see that, and I'm applying the scripture because that's exactly what Esau did. You know, just like Cain and Abel, he didn't put up the righteous sacrifice. You know, he ran his world in wickedness. And we see that through that, his whole society is breaking down. Men want to be women, women want to be men. You know, nobody wants to work hard because the money that he's putting out there, you know, is not paying off. The college degrees that he promised aren't once you get the degree, the career and the job field isn't even hiring for those positions, you know. Not to mention, you know, all these other different conflicts around the world. You know, they say they signed a peace deal with Iran, but how long is that really going to last? We understand the scripture when they in 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, I believe, you know, where it says, when they shall say peace and safety, you know, there shall be none. You know, so these good times that this man is promising, talking about, oh, it's going to lower your price at the pump. No, man, this is going to destroy your engines. And this is just one of many examples of this man's kingdom rapidly declining. You know, so Jake, this is just another reminder that, you know, get prepared, you know, and understand, you know, what this man is doing. You know, if brothers can, you know, run a fuel injection cleaner through their car, you know, it does help with the weaker the gas. So if you are brothers out there having problems with their car, you know, there's a lot of different fuel injection cleaners that you can add to your fuel through the gas tank to help it run a little cleaner. If brothers are having problems, maybe stretch the car a little bit longer, you know. But if you can, you know, my recommendation is, I know it's a little bit more expensive, you know, but brothers out there that can buy the ethanol free gas, you know, just spend the extra shekels on it because it takes you further and it's better for the wear and tear on your engine, you know. And usually you can find which gas stations in your area, you know, service that ethanol free, and just, you know, try to get that gas when, you know, you get paid or something like that, you know, to make sure that your car is running the best of your to your ability. But hey, man, at the end of the day, all this is vanity, because we can't rely on anything carnal that is going to make our life easier. You know, like scriptures say, money is a defense, but we understand that the times that we're coming into, Esau doesn't want people to bounce back. He wants a society that collapses because nobody has enough money to even eat or feed themselves, you know. So they'll be so desperate to go to whatever final solution that he has, and that final solution, after pushing people to the point of desperation, is going to be that MOT to the B, that charagma. So this is why I wanted to read this in Luke 12:22, and he said, and this is Yahweh Shai, Luke 12:22, and he said unto his disciples, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, neither for the body what ye shall put on. Verse 23, the life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment, you know, food and clothes, you know. So and this is just an example that Akim, you know, no matter how bad things are going to get, and we know they're going to get bad, we have to have faith that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to come through for us. You know, especially if we've been doing everything that we've can do to the best of our ability. Even though we understand that every single brother is going to get tested in his own individual way, we have to hold the faith and look at Job as an example of him getting stripped away from everything that he owned, even his family. You know, and the Lord left his wife, but even, you know, she turned against him. So you're going to have to really be able to be 10 toes down for this truth and really be convinced in your own mind, body, and spirit, everything that you are in existence, that this is the way. And to pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai no matter how bad things are going to get. Because as you can see, this a small example of adding ethanol 15% to a gasoline, is going to cause a domino effect. So brothers, keep pushing, keep persevering, and we're just, blowing the trumpet, and this is just another one of the wiles of the devil, and being circumspect. Because wiles is like a dart. This is Ephesians 6:11. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. So this is just another trick of the devil, trying to show that he has power and to try to disrupt the lives of the elect, try to make it harder to live, and further push his 15-minute city agenda, his smart car, AI, database, flock camera. You can't go anywhere unless we give you the pass type of society. And attacking the vehicles is just one of many steps. So Lord willing that this lesson was edifying unto the elect. Till next time, I would like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Chachadash, and double honors to beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. While peace and salutations to all you hopeful elect Akim out there laboring, that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. Till next time, Lord willing, Shalom.